My name is Herman Paleka. I come from a family that's kind of musical. You know, we all grew up on Molokai, nothing to do in the evening. We had no electricity. You know, I was born in Molokai, but they had no electricity. So in the evenings, early in the evenings, our family would always get together. We'd always sing. And I had a dad that played music. He had a guitar player. He played Hawaiian steel guitar. But I also had an uncle that used to make ukulele. And so all his so-called junk, he was called his junk ukulele, he would give it to me. And that's how I learned how to play the ukulele. So I started learning to play the ukulele when I probably was about 6 or 7 years old. And been playing it ever since. I still have very clearly pictured in my mind my mom and I. There's always been a scene. My mom, every day when I would go to school, she would stand outside on the road and watch me walk to school, because we lived from about 1.5 miles from school. And so every morning, and during those days we went to school first grade, there was no kindergarten. So every morning my mom would make my lunch, and I still remember what was in my lunch can, a metal lunch can. She would fry me some eggs, sunny side up, and bacon and rice with a lot of ketchup, and then the school would serve us milk only. They never had cafeteria when I was in school. We had to bring our own lunch. So that's one of the earliest childhood memories I had. When I was 13 years old, I was kind of big for my size, and so if I told people I was 15, they would almost believe me. And so you couldn't work in a pineapple field until you were 15. So my grandma wrote me a birth certificate saying that I was 15 years old. So I actually went to work in a pineapple field when I was about 13. And little history about pineapple field, just to let you know how easy you guys have it today growing up. But when we work in a pineapple field, it was an all day, an 8-hour day. Work in the field all day, no shade, and walk. You know, we'd walk all day, pick pineapple, put it in a bag, carry it to the field, carry it on a truck. And it was really, really hard work. But, you know, as a young person, I enjoyed it. And interesting things like we took 1 gallon of water. That water had to last us all day. And so, you know, we walk. And I remember my first, it wasn't a paycheck, we would get paid in cash. We were working, I think I was paid 95 cents an hour. You know, 95 cents an hour. I'm a retired school teacher, and I was making about $50, $60 an hour compared to 95 cents an hour. What a difference! You know, there's a lot of memories and things that I appreciate today because of what I had or didn't have in the past. I'll tell you another interesting thing. You know, when I was a young man, I used to watch all these. Whenever I went to work in a pineapple field, I would watch all of these old Filipino men, because there are a lot of Filipinos in Molokai. And they were old. I mean, they were in their 50s, 60s. And I looked at them and I said to myself, I am never going to spend the rest of my life like these guys. Every morning go through the same routine. Make their lunch, put it in a can, go to work, walk 8 hours in the field, come home, and then just rest and go work the next day. And in fact, I think that's where I got my feeling of the importance of education, when I saw those old men working on the field. I made a commitment to myself that when I'm done making money, just so I can go back to school, go to school, I'm never going to work in a pineapple field again, and I need to study. During my senior year at Lahaina, I kind of received a scholarship to go play football at Snow College. It's a college somewhere in Utah. And I would tell people, the only thing I knew, in fact there were 5 of us that we were going to go to Snow College to play football, but all I knew about this place, Snow College, is that they had a lot of turkeys. And so, but somewhere along the line, all 5 of us would kind of chicken out. We didn't want to leave Hawaii. We were too scared, you know. And all 5 were Hawaiians. You know, I take that back. The 4 Hawaiians and 1 Filipino boy. And we were too scared. We never left Hawaii before, and none of our family members ever left Hawaii before. So it was for Hawaiians and the Filipino. We didn't know this, but someone from Church College of Hawaii sent a representative to us, to our school, and interviewed us. And in the interview, they gave us a 1-year scholarship, all tuition paid. When I was I think it was my 3rd year at Church College of Hawaii, I had a friend that invited me to come over to entertain, play music at the Kauai Surf with him during the summer. And so since then until I graduated from Church College of Hawaii, every summer I would fly over here. I was entertaining at Kauai Surf and driving tour buses during the day, and until I graduated. Then I taught school in Honolulu. And then when my wife and I were expecting, in fact, when we had our first son, Mr. Paleka, that now teaches at Kupuna. When we had him, we both decided that I didn't want my wife to go back. I wanted her to stay home, not go back to work, not have to teach. And so she stayed out of teaching for about 17 years, never went back to work until all of my children were born and raised. And when our last child went to school, entered kindergarten, then my wife went back to teach. So we both retired now from the Department of Education. All of my children, when I tell people that, my children were kind of raised in school, my children all went to my classroom as early as I can remember. In fact, my girls, Miss Paleka and all my girls used to do my bulletin boards for me in elementary. They'd go and fix it up, and even when we were home, they would always they would always do things that looked like teaching, and then we have a family tradition. We have a family evening every Monday, where we stay home with activities together. And one of the, not requirements, but one of the things we rotated was that each child, some period of time, had to teach a lesson. And so we rotated to that. So all our children they very early, they started learning how to teach. They would make their bulletin board, they would fix up all their pictures, they'd have everything. And so it was natural. So when it was time for them to go to college, they all wanted to be school teachers too. And so out of the 5 children we have, all of them went to college. 3 of them graduated from college, and the 3 that graduated from college are now teachers. There was a great difference between education when I went to school, education during the time I taught school, and education after I retired. The school keeps going through different phases. When I went to school, and I don't remember having any discipline problems in the classroom, because hey, you went to school, the teacher was the teacher. You respect her. And I remember my parents, when they met with the teacher, they would tell the teacher, "Miss, you can do anything you want to do with my children, but please don't break their teeth because it's expensive to fix." Now here I am in that meeting with them. My dad is now telling the teacher, "Do anything. If my son gets naughty, spank him if you want to. I don't care what you do with him. Hit him if you have to, but make him learn. But don't hit his mouth and break his teeth. That's too expensive." Now, that taught me a lesson in there. I said, "Hey, I better behave in class," because my dad gave permission to this teacher, and I was never a discipline problem in school because of that. And then when I went to school, then we had a little bit about that. I would grab youngsters and try to shake them up. Sometimes I squeeze their arms a little bit. and then I also, the last part of my teaching career, definitely could not touch the children at all. But also from that period of time when I went to school up until now, I have seen the lack of discipline in the classroom, the lack of self-discipline. A child coming to school prepared to learn. They don't learn a lot of things at home the way parents used to teach them. And respect. I don't remember ever going to school and not respecting a teacher. I used to hate teachers because they made me work too hard, but I never disrespected them. I always respected the teachers. Today, they don't. Very little, not very little, not as much respect as they should. And now I'm on the last phase of my working with school. I now serve on a Kupuna Elementary school community council, and that boy, I know for sure now I don't want to be a school teacher again. I mean, it's too difficult. The teaching level, the teaching that they do today, and the teaching I did when I taught. Some people would say, we were kind of backwards during those days, but I don't know. I think it depended. And probably 10, 15 years from now, somebody's going to come up and say, 15 years ago, that's old-fashioned. This is what we're doing today. So schools have changed. But the youngsters are still the same. They still need the same thing. They still need discipline. They still need to learn to respect. It's important. There are a lot of things I'd love to change. And I can tell you one thing, maybe the state will help people, is that I've learned over the years of experience that I've had, is that, you and I live life in different phases. Like we have our, as a young child, we learn things. Then when we go to middle school, we learn things, and then we go to high school, different phases of our life. And I've learned now that I'm here and this stage of my life, I look back at some of those phases, I wish, I can't get it back, but I wish during that phase I had paid attention to some things that I never paid attention to. Like when I was in the elementary school, I had a teacher that was a really good writer. She loved to write, and she was trying to teach us some skills about writing. And today I really want to write. In fact, I really want to write a book. I'm limited because during that particular phase of my life, I never paid attention to things. And then I look back, every phase of my life, I didn't do something that I wish I'd have done now. Because now I'm limited. I can't do some of the things that I want to do because I didn't pay attention at that particular phase of my life. So that's one thing I've learned, and one thing I try to teach my children is that every phase you go through, do the best you can. So good advice for you too. Every phase, when you're in high school, do the best you can. You want to never think of math as junk or English too hard. Do the best you can, because later on in life when you come like me, you look back and I can't write this article the way I want to. I write articles for newspapers and stories on my own, but I can't express myself the way I want to because I'm limited. So do something at every phase of your life. Don't work hard on it. You'll benefit from it. Thank you for this opportunity.